Right now, someone is eating in secret. Not because they're starving, not because they lost control, but because being seen feels worse than being hungry. They're standing in the kitchen, scrolling on their phone, taking quick bites, listening for footsteps. And the strange part? They don't even fully understand why they're doing it. If you've ever eaten in your car so no one would see, if you've ever waited until everyone went to sleep before opening the fridge, or if you've ever told yourself, this doesn't count because no one knows about it, then this video is not here to shame you. It's here to explain what's really happening inside your mind. Because secret eating is not about food. It's about psychology. Most people misunderstand secret eating. They think it means binge eating. They think it means eating huge amounts of food. But that's not true. Secret eating can look very normal on the outside. Eating alone instead of with others, hiding snacks, eating quickly before someone notices, or avoiding eating in public. The key factor isn't quantity. It's avoidance. You're not avoiding food. You're avoiding being seen. Human beings are social creatures. Our brains evolved to care deeply about how we're perceived. Being judged used to mean rejection. Rejection used to mean danger. So when eating becomes connected to judgment, your nervous system reacts as if your safety is on the line. That's why secret eating feels tense, why your heart beats faster, why you rush. Your body thinks it's protecting you. To understand secret eating, we need to separate two emotions. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am something wrong. Secret eating is driven by shame. You're not just worried about the food. You're worried about what the food says about you. And once shame enters the picture, hiding becomes logical. For most people, shame around eating didn't appear randomly. It was learned. Maybe adults commented on your portions, food was controlled or restricted, eating was monitored, weight was criticized, or hunger was dismissed. Over time, your brain connected eating with evaluation. And even when no one is watching anymore, your brain still acts like they are. Even when you eat alone, you're rarely eating alone. There's an internal voice watching, commenting, judging, criticizing. Secret eating is often an attempt to escape that voice, but the voice follows you anyway. When you finally eat in secret, something happens. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing slows. That relief is not from the food. It's from the absence of observation. Your brain interprets privacy as safety, and safety feels addictive. This is how the pattern forms. Eating feels judged, privacy feels safer, relief follows secrecy, and the brain remembers the relief. Once the brain finds relief, it wants to repeat it, not because you're weak, but because your brain is efficient. People don't openly admit secret eating because it feels embarrassing, contradicts their self-image, and they fear being misunderstood. So the behavior stays hidden, and what stays hidden tends to grow. Secret eating isn't random. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a learned response to judgment. Now that you understand how it starts, it's time to explore why your brain holds onto it so tightly. Every time you eat, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine isn't pleasure. It's motivation. It teaches your brain, this is worth repeating. But secret eating adds something extra. Secrecy intensifies experiences. Secrets feel exciting. Forbidden things feel stronger. Hidden actions feel meaningful. When you combine food plus secrecy, your brain assigns extra importance to the moment, which is why secret eating feels more intense than normal eating. When you eat in secret, there are two rewards happening: the taste of food and relief from being unseen. Relief is incredibly powerful to the nervous system. Your brain doesn't forget that combination. So after a while, eating in secret becomes a learned pattern. People assume that guilt afterward will stop them next time, but guilt increases stress, and stress increases impulsive behavior. Guilt, unintentionally, strengthens the cycle. The cycle usually looks like this: pressure, desire, secrecy, relief, guilt, more pressure. Each loop tightens the habit. Secret eating often feels like control. This is my choice. No one can tell me what to do, your brain says. Psychology calls this reactance. When freedom feels threatened, the brain rebels. But rebellion doesn't equal freedom. If control only exists in secrecy, it's not control, it's tension. Willpower works when you're calm. Secret eating happens when you're dysregulated. You can't out-discipline a nervous system response. Hidden behaviors stay emotionally charged. Visible behaviors normalize. The brain relaxes when nothing is forbidden. Secret eating survives because it works, temporarily. But temporary relief creates long-term stress. Most people think stopping secret eating means eating less, controlling cravings, or creating stricter rules. But rules are what created the problem. The opposite of secrecy isn't control. It's visibility. Eating openly, sitting down, using a plate. This sounds simple, but psychologically it's powerful. When food becomes neutral, cravings reduce, urgency fades, obsession loosens. The brain stops treating food like contraband. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" ask, "What am I actually responding to?" Hunger, stress, loneliness, avoidance. Food often becomes a solution to problems it can't solve. Awareness creates space to respond differently. Self-compassion reduces stress hormones. Lower stress equals fewer impulsive behaviors. Research shows people who practice self-compassion around eating binge less, hide less, and recover faster. Self-criticism backfires. It increases stress, which fuels secrecy. Change happens through safety, repetition, and patience, not punishment. If you eat in secret, you are not broken. Your brain learned a strategy to cope, and learned strategies can be unlearned. You are allowed to eat. You are allowed to enjoy food. You are allowed to do it without hiding. If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, you're not alone. Leave a comment, subscribe, and remember, psychology explains behavior. It doesn't judge it.